Whilst the Newcastle United takeover continues to be in the Premier League's hands, there's some huge problems developing at the club. Just how long can Newcastle continue in the limbo we find ourselves in? We all know the Newcastle takeover was not going to be straightforward. I don't think many people thought that we'd enter June and still not have a resolution to this situation, but as the Premier League, Staveley and the Saudis have a to and fro regarding the problems with piracy, Newcastle United Football Club is starting to look a bit of a mess right now. It's okay for the Premier League's Richard Masters to come out and say they'll take as much time as they need, but this causes some big issues for the day-to-day running of the club. Because in reality, what this means is some of the basic things at the club are not happening, and it's really concerning. For example, most of the staff at the club remain furloughed, something completely unnecessary for a Premier League club who announced last week that they'd made a profit of £35 million. With lockdown measures being eased quite quickly and the first team squad back in training and preparing for the restart of the season, surely Newcastle United's back team staff should be at work and sorting things out to ensure the club is running properly. The biggest part of this is the fact that supporters are unable to speak to anybody at the club. And this is a massive problem because Newcastle United shamefully remain the only Premier League club who haven't refunded fans for their remaining unused season tickets. Now that we all know the Premier League is to finish the season without fans in the stadium, Newcastle, like every other club in the league, should have been instantly refunding cash to supporters, some of whom I'm sure could very well do with the money if they themselves have perhaps been furloughed or perhaps even worse, lost their jobs. Then there's the Man City Cup tie money. Again, fans were charged for a game that won't happen in front of paying customers, and this money should have been refunded ages ago. And the triple whammy here is that Newcastle United continue to take money out of fans' accounts for next season, when nobody has a clue when fans are going to be allowed back into St James's Park. The contempt Ashley has for all of us has never been clearer. I know a takeover is in progress, but I don't believe for 1 minute that Ashley, who still owns the club, couldn't have sorted this out. But I suppose I shouldn't be surprised, because when has Ashley ever done the right thing, especially when it comes to the supporters? The other huge problem we have with the Premier League saying we'll take as long as it needs is that, coupled with Ashley's indifference to everything, it's allowing the contracts of players like Matty Longstaff not to even be negotiated further, and he may leave as other clubs begin to speak to him. Now, the jury is clearly still out on Matty Longstaff because he's so young, but if history has taught us anything, it's that when you get a youngster who you believe has a bit of talent, hold on to them and just allow yourself that time to judge whether or not they're going to be good enough to become a regular in the team. In the long run, this allows the team to save money, and you might even, if they don't make the grade, you might even get a bit of transfer money for them at a later date. The amount of local talent Newcastle has let go over the years is enough to make your eyes water. And finally, my big concern is there any planning happening for next season in the event that this takeover doesn't happen? Ashley's never been good at having a vision for the club, and I fully expect that if this takeover does fail to go through, Ashley will have no contingency plan in place at all. And that is massively worrying, especially when we have a squad thin on quality and with Steve Bruce as manager. In conclusion, if the Premier League don't pass this takeover soon, then Newcastle United will continue to be a shambles both on and off the pitch. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please hit the like button and consider subscribing too, and I will see you really soon for another video.